build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die.
Hi folks, thanks for coming along. This is Longbangers Twitter space. I'm Matty. We're just having a wee chat about the 3-0 win today. Interesting to hear anybody's thoughts on it. So if you want to speak, usual rules apply. Just hit the wee request to speak button in the bottom left, I think, on your phone, and we'll get you on for a chat. Colin will be on in a wee minute to join me. So nice win for Hibs. We've been threatening a sort of decent scoreline for a wee while now, and it's like the first time really that we've managed to properly put a team away. Goals from Boyle for the penalty, Kukrevich, and a great strike for Henderson as well. Just watching it back on the sports scene there, I didn't quite realise at the game quite how well he'd struck it. Interesting to hear how folk thought Henderson did today. They're just getting a wee bit of criticism early in the game, but I actually thought he was involved in some really good moments in the game, including the assist for the second goal and the finish for his goal. If anybody was at the gig last night at the live show at Easter Road, it'd be good to hear from you, see how you thought it went. We had a cracking night ourselves. Quite tired today on the back of it. Probably drank a bit more than I was expecting to. But it was really good night. Great hospitality for Hibs as well. So a big shout out to the sort of the catering and bar staff who were manning the Albion bar at Easter Road last night. They made sure none of us were waiting around for drinks for too long, and just contributed to an all-round cracking evening. So Lee Johnson made 2 changes to the starting lineup. Obviously McGuinness had to go out because he was suspended, but also McCurdy, I think, had a wee injury. I listened to a wee bit of Lee Johnson's chat at before the game on Hibs TV, and he mentioned that McCurdy had a wee knock. So he went out when Henderson came in, and also Josh Campbell dropped out. Who else came in? Just lost my chain of thought there. So the changes were, and Kenneth came in as well. Kenneth had a cracking game today, as did Joe Newell, as did Rocky Bashiri. Again, this is something else I'd like to talk about tonight if anybody wants to come on and give their views. Bashiri obviously has been one of the big stories of the season. We all know the situation around how he was signed and how the signing was announced and sort of people's perceptions of him in the back of last season. But he's been different class when he's played this season, and he got the sponsors man of the match today. I think he was probably one of a couple of players that would have deserved that today. I thought he was absolutely superb throughout the game, and he actually looks, playing in that back three with Porto and Hanlon. He's I don't know if he's necessarily the standout all the time, but he's definitely right up with 2 very good centre halves that are playing alongside him. Joe Newell was another one that I tweeted about earlier on. Newell, when he's on form, is for me one of the best midfielders in the league. And today I thought he just put on a wee bit of masterclass, and was a big part of why Hibs' win today was as comfortable as it was. We also, in terms of things to talk about, Martin Boyle went off with a knee injury. Thought he was a wee bit unlucky with that one because it was actually a foul by one of the St Mirren players on Kenna that had sort of pushed him onto Boyle, and he landed awkwardly on his knee, played on for a wee bit, and then I had to go off. So hopefully that's just a precaution, because obviously you didn't want Boyle missing out the World Cup. That's like a huge opportunity for him, but from a selfish point of view, we didn't really want him missing too many Hibs games, especially with a tricky trip to Pittodrie coming up next Friday. So let's say just hit the wee request to speak button down at the bottom left, and happy to hear as many views as possible. If you've not been on before, don't be shy. I know, having spoken to a few folk on the Twitter spaces, a lot of folks say they quite like listening, but they're a wee bit shy about coming on in case they say something stupid. And what I would say to that is, don't let that stop you. We've pretty much done a podcast for, I think, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, where every week we say something stupid. Like, we're no experts. We're just idiots that like talking about football. So there's nothing that you're going to say that's going to be more stupid than anything that we say week in, week out. So don't feel shy about coming on board. Just press the button, come on, and give your views. So things to call out. So we also had VAR interfering with the game again today. So we had the first goal chopped out. That's my door going if he's can hear in the background. I done school go mental in a second too. Hopefully that's my dinner arriving. Hiya. Thank you very much. Thank you. Cheers. There we go. Wee interruption there. There's another one due to come as well for the girls. Right, here's Colin coming on as well. Hi Colin, you alright? You there, Colin?
Hey mate, did you get some nice
Hiya.
food?
Aye. Do you know what I ordered, right? So see what last night when I got home, we got back to, I stayed at my mother-in-law's last
Is
night.
that the kebab just arrived?
Aye, for a different place. So you didn't get them very often in Dunfermline. No kebabs, right? Kebabs you can get, they bother in Dunfermline, right? But when I lived in Edinburgh and we used to go out at, where was it? So, the Wee Red Bar, which was Lauriston Place. And when we would walk home, we'd go past one of the kebab shops up by Doctors, I think the pub up there. And you could get a yogurt chicken kebab. And I used to get it all the time. It was fucking lovely. Eat it walking down the road and all the rest of it. And I've not had one for years. And last night when we got back to my mother-in-law's, so she wasn't in, me and Josh stays there anyway. We got back, I said, we'll order a kebab, and that was on the menu, so that's what I ordered, and the fucker never turned up, I was so disappointed by it. In fact, I was raging about it, not disappointed, I was raging.
Took to Twitter to complain.
The delivery time comes up 1:30 to 10 to 2 is when it said it was going to deliver, and you go, fair enough, right, ordering after midnight. So you sit up and wait, and then the fucking thing didn't come. And what was worse, when you phoned them up to chase, the pricks took the phone off the hook, and they never said hello or anything. They just put the phone down again, so you could hear the background noise and that. And I was like, oh, I tell you, if I was of a mind to do it, I was very tempted to just phone in and place a big order. And just make me 10 kebabs, I'll come and pick it up. I'll pay cash when I get there, and then just arrive and see if they can't like it. But I'm not a mean person, so I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't say it out loud?
No.
On a podcast, aye.
No, if I was actually going to do it. But it annoyed me. I said I went to bed hungry. So anyway, ordered one tonight when I came in. That's here. So I'll keep that one.
It was going to get cold. Imagine ordering that in time for this starting your stupid fucker.
It's Saturday night. I thought it was going to take ages to come. Do you know what I mean? It took about 20 minutes. Normally it's about an hour, easy, before it comes. So anyway, right, enough of that. Football, Colin, what did you think of the game today?
It was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. The last 20 minutes were a bit boring, but it was good apart from that, I thought.
How, we're not spoken to you since last night. How did you enjoy the gig?
Aye, it was good. I enjoyed that as well. I think people who were there enjoyed it more than I did, but aye, it was good.
That's a good sign, though, is it not?
I think so. I'm taking it as it was. It's hard to tell when you're there, eh? Like they're the ones that are listening. It's hard to tell when you're sitting there, there's all that noise going on, and you think, is anybody even fucking listening here? But aye, no, it was good.
Aye, I feel enjoyed it. It's this morning I was like kind of caught between being relieved it was over and wishing I could do it again.
Yeah.
Funny things. Right. Just as you were coming on, just as the door went, I was just coming out to talk about VAR. So we had two sort of main incidents on with VAR today. First goal chopped off, Colin. Happy with the decision?
I've not seen it back, but I've heard they've said it was pretty. Listen to the radio, it was a clear offside for the pass before the final pass. Aye, the Neil pass to Trabaya. Yeah, so
it was. I just watched on the sports scene the other now, and
is it obvious? Is it?
No complaints, but
is it one that they should have got? The linesman should have maybe got. Was that bad?
Aye, but the linesmen, they're told not to flag, aren't they? So
yes, that's right.
Then flag, let the move play out, and then they can go back and review it, which I think is the right way to do it. I can some people complain because they think the flag should go up early, but I always think
you're just getting the defender another excuse there because they would go, "I had this flag, but put me off." There's enough to get enough protection now with the free kicks they win for just fucking falling down and that. So.
And another thing is, if it's a marginal one and the linesman put his flag up and it's wrong and the play gets stopped, that's no fair on the attacking team. So I think it's right that they let it play out and then call it back. The text I was getting at the game was that Mikey Stewart was saying, "Oh no, he's onside. Kukovic is behind the ball when it's played." but he's obviously not looked at the pass
He's
before.
not watched that one.
So,
Aye, he got corrected at the end. I think he'd seen it by then again properly.
aye, so I think that one again, VAR's probably come at the right decision, even though it's going against us. It's the right call. And then right on half time, we got the penalty. Have you seen that back yet, Colin?
I've no, but it's at my end, so I thought it was a penalty at the time, and I think everybody else did. You could tell with Cadden's reaction and all that as well. Like, and I know that they say like that the players always try and claim, but you can just tell with how much they claim if they actually believe it. I think I've not seen it back in the telly, but I don't think anybody's arguing that it wasn't a penalty. So I think it was, but I've not seen the replay. Have you seen the replay on that as well?
Just on Sports Scene the other night before we came on, and I think it is a penalty, but it's one of those ones where you can make a decent case for it not being as well.
Was it like the Michael Smith one last week that for Hearts or against for Celtic? Sorry, against Hearts.
Nah,
was it not? The boy seemed to like have his hands out in front of him rather than like Michael Smith was made at the. Like it was like he almost put his hands out.
Do you know what the difference is between the two of them? When Michael Smith gets hits the ball with his hand, he's still quite forward facing on the ball. And the St Mirren player's almost got his back there, but he's got his arm out a wee bit. It's no miles. I didn't really care where else he could have put his hand, if I'm honest. That's why I was looking at it going, if it was against us, would you be annoyed? And I probably would be annoyed at it.
Well, you would be. You would be anyway. You can't do that argument. Because no matter fucking what, if the decision goes against us, you're going to be annoyed at it.
Aye, this is true. But I can understand. I just went and said that offside in the first goal. No problems with it. So that's your argument. Just shook the bits just there.
But you can't argue. But you can't argue with a black. That's what I was saying. I think I said that it solves offsides.
Aye.
There's no disputing it. Like you're offside or you're not. That's it. It's black and white.
Yeah.
It's all the other rules that are open to interpretation, like Marshall getting booked, but none of their players getting booked for throwing the ball away.
Aye.
You know what I mean? It's like, or we probably picked up more bookings in them the day. I've not looked at the stats because I've been watching the rugby since I got in, right? But we must have picked up more bookings by memory than they did. But it's just like, and you look at it and go, how did their players not get booked for when they done that wee niggly thing? Because it was not bad, it was just a wee niggly fucking thing.
On the bookings, I think the referee wasn't too bad for that the day. I didn't think there was like a few times where you're sort of looking and going, well, that's like the Marshall one's a good example. First half, they stopped us taking a free kick. The boys kicked the ball forward. The other boys just rolled it out the way. And,
yep.
And it's no different to what Marshall's done, but Marshall gets booked first time he does it.
Well, Marshall didn't even throw it away. He threw it back to them to take the throw, and what he done was stop them taking it quickly.
Aye. And then there was another foul on, I can't remember who it was on, it might have been on Henderson. It was Henderson fouled one of their players late. It was like McGuinness's foul last week. Just a wee late one, just a wee lazy foot.
Yeah.
Nothing. Didn't even get a free kick. And McGuinness was sent off for it last week. It's just things like that where you're like, consistencies, or you're looking for the same treatment so everybody knows where you stand.
That's the thing though, right? We talk about that, and the pundits talk about that. I said this in the car on the way home actually, because we talk about consistency, but the rule book doesn't allow for it because it's all interpretation, and so they can interpret it differently. And even if you listen to the pundits, they'll talk about the identical tackles in different weeks and give you a different fucking solution because the rule book doesn't allow for it, and that's where offside it does, because it's offside or it's not. And the only way you could get handball consistent is by saying if the ball hits your hand, it's a penalty or it's a free kick. Because otherwise it's like, oh well, Ken, it's not in the shadow of his body, t-shirt line, all these other wee fucking things we dream up and make up to suit whatever way we want it to fit. If you say it hits your hand, it's a penalty. That's the only way you can make it consistent.
Aye.
In my opinion.
Yeah, if you made it matter of fact rather than matter of opinion.
Aye.
Right, well, we'll move on for VAR. I mean, they were the two big ones. I thought I was a wee bit worried with Kukurevic's goal that they might call it back for a foul on Gogic, but I watched it back and it's nowhere near a foul.
Did you celebrate it? Did you celebrate it? Or you did? All right, okay. I just keep hearing that you didn't celebrate goals because
VAR. I did.
Lee Johnson even said that though after the game. And I'm going, you fucking celebrate it, and then you go, fuck if it gets taken off, like we did with the goal in the first half.
Yeah.
Although Barry never told us it was off there. Like we just assumed because they had a free kick and they cheered. I never heard I didn't notice.
It was the referee blowing the whistle and pointing to the other end, wasn't it, to say it's a free kick rather than them retaking the kick off.
Well, last week he was telling us VAR says goal or VAR says not goal on the timing.
Aye.
So maybe he's never done that this week.
I'm sure there's like specific guidelines that they need to follow because he put a big post up about it on Hibs. It was actually dead interesting to see how it worked. He said dead interesting, right? Yeah. You
tell me about that last week.
And in inverted commas, it's no dead interesting. There's stuff that's dead interesting, and VAR is the dead interesting. It'll be
I think it's like a novelty in that. I know it's like, and I'm just going to fucking contradict myself, I think here, but I ken it's like novelty and all that at the moment. But even on the radio the night, like we're all getting fixated on it, and because the radio, like in between talking about Rangers, they managed to do a bit on VAR, and you're like, they went through every game talking about VAR decisions rather than about goals. You know what I mean? And you're like, what? Why are we so? I ken it's like the new toy, but like let's just fucking get on with it. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a bad thing.
Aye,
it's like we got a penalty today. We wouldn't have got.
Yeah, the radio was a joke after the game. 45 minutes or 50 minutes is spent on Rangers.
I talked, and it wasn't even a close game. I said that to the wife coming in. I says that listen to this, fucking Rangers have hammered them, and yet they're still going on about it, like as if like. It was a close game and there was loads of decisions here. There was red cards, there was fucking offside goals, or fuck off. Routine pumping for Aberdeen at Ibrox. But they done, it must have been 26 when we got Lee Johnson's interview, or 25 to 6 maybe, at the earliest. Because I was nearly home.
I should have mentioned this before. Who's the, it's McIntyre that presents it, isn't it?
McIntyre, yeah.
Have you heard how he says this evening and this afternoon?
No.
Right, see when you clock it, you can't unhear it and it'll irritate, and I'm going to spoil sports sound for everybody here, right? He says it like this evening or this afternoon.
Oh, we're Z.
Aye, what's his afternoon? He says, there's a game that is afternoon. Oh, I don't care what his afternoon is, mate, but that's not how you say that.
I got me a thing when fucking McInnes came on and started again at the want. We want to win this, and we're selves and yourselves, and you're like, fucking hell, man, this fucking can't he speak?
McInnes wasn't happy with the VAR. He's like, he says that the referee, he watched it, he's like, got one angle and he watched the same angle with 30 odd times to make his mind up. Mm-hmm. That's a nonsense, that, isn't it? You can't be sitting watching one angle 30 times to it's maybe exaggerating, but let's maybe just quick have a wee quick look and went back. He mentioned about the time added on as well. I put a wee tweet out about it. We got 2 minutes at the end of the first half of the day. And what did we have? There was only one VAR check at that point because did we not get the second one just as in injury time?
Aye, well, was it 4 minutes in injury time, no? Because so BBC notification says 45 plus 4 for the goal.
Aye, it probably ended up at that because they put the board up for 2, and at that point there was no injuries. There was a VAR check, and then that was it. And he's got 2 minutes at it. I'm going, you could have 2 minutes for that. But last week we got chasing the game. We got 3 minutes, and there was. Mate, the big long VAR check for our penalty.
It's inconsistent, like, again, because it's down to somebody remembering. Just get somebody clicking a button up in the VAR room or wherever you need it to be, telling the ref how long a game should be. Like, didn't have the ref timing it, I know, because they clearly can't do it. Right? They just go 3 minutes, that'll do. That's standard. It's 3 minutes is standard. If fuck all's happened, they give you 1 or 2, and if it's Rangers or Celtic, you get 6 or 7. Like that's that. Sometimes you'll get a 4, if there's an injury or something. So, because even the amount of subs we made, 5 today, So,
it was 5. Because maybe it used to be a rule that every 30 seconds on per sub. Now, I can't know if you've got 3 subs coming on at one time.
But they all came off individually.
Aye.
But it was all three at one time, but they all came up. It was like, right, Ryan, it's you now, again. And you're like, for fuck's sake, can you use three at once? And they all come off. But to be honest, I was glad the game didn't go extra any longer because it was fucking dull by then. Do you know what I think? Once we made the subs, they weren't wanting pumped any more than they already got, and we were making all the subs. So it just took all the effort out of the game, all the pace, all the intensity that making subs does. I'm a wee bit disappointed the lad Aiken never got on. I seen he was on the bench, and I've seen him a couple of times for the 19s, and the B team and that, and he looks promising. He's a captain of the 19s. He was man of the match, but probably both times that I've seen him actually at Easter Road, and I thought they might have brought him on just to give him 10 minutes when I think we were making the subs, because what harm would it have done? We weren't losing. You know what I mean?
That's it with that. I think we've got Jimmy here on speak. Jimmy, bring yourself off mute, mate. What would you want to say?
Hi lads, nice to speak to you. The first time I've used this, can you hear me?
I heard you, mate.
I've just joined your chat, but this Don Robertson referee is an absolute. It's a joke, mate. It really is. I mean, I don't know if this is a conversation you're at about referees, but how many fouls did the St Mirren players in the midfield take undone, and there was no booking? Ryan Porteous had one foul, and he couldn't wait to take his yellow card out and boot the laddie.
Jimmy, this is my. We were talking about it. It's like the different rules apply, for the.
It seems to be.
It does my head in. This is like the one thing Colin gets sick of listening to me talk about it, because I like every match in our group chat. I'll be like, we got booked for that, but they've done it already, or we'd be booked for something, they do it later on and didn't get the booking. It does my head in. It's probably the one thing that annoys me most about Scottish football is sitting watching us get refereed different to other teams, and I'm sure every team thinks that as well. Like, that's just me being biased.
I understand that, man, but this Don Robertson. I mean, how many times this year have he's refereed? Somebody will tell me how many, but it's just becoming a joke, son. But the thing is, the other thing I want to talk about is, if you don't mind, this VAR. Now, I've heard three different. I don't know if you spoke about this prior to it, but the Boffey Newell to Cabrera for the goal. Was he offside, and has it been shown the lines?
So you didn't need the lines for this one, Jimmy. He was offside.
Was he offside?
He was. It's maybe like a yard in it. So I think if you put the lines in, we'd go, what you bothering with the lines for?
Okay.
So I think they got that one right, unfortunately. I would like to have said no, it wasn't. But some pass for Newell, wasn't it? See if he'd just been like a wee,
absolutely fantastic,
a wee split second sooner. What do you think of Newell today, Jimmy?
He was absolutely fantastic, but I'm going to go for Bushiri. Was for all the slagging he's been taken. Well, not so much this year, but certainly last year. The lad is fantastic, and Newell was brilliant as well.
I tell you who else, Jimmy. I totally agree with you, but see, the laddie Kenner was excellent today.
Yes,
he makes Newell look a lot better player as well.
Yes, do you know what? I'm going back to the St Johnstone game. We can't have the laddie Kenner being a Marvin Bartley who only plays so many games to break up the play sort of thing, because he was fantastic.
He was really good, wasn't he? Well, I was interested to think what you thought of Melkerson, Jimmy and Colin. Like, if you give me your view of Melkerson when he came on, because we put in the group chat, or I put in the group chat when earlier on, I was actually having a chat with one of my other mates, just to say, like, Melkerson really needs to be kind of getting some game time and showing what he can do.
Yes.
What did you think of how he did when he came on?
Well, he put himself about, but he's not a player that should be out in the left or out in the right or wherever he wants to be. He's probably in the box man, but he'll not take over the big Kukaracha. He'll not take his place, because that lad he's got to be a player. So whether you're going to play Melkerson with him in the middle, or you're going to play Melkerson to come on as a sub, I don't think he's a player that can come out for the left or out for the right.
Colin, who do you think he did?
I thought he was alright, but I thought the game was kind of. I don't think there was really much in the game after that. I think he knocked one down, didn't he? For was it Henderson when he blasted it into the third tier?
Aye.
But I can't even remember him doing much else, mate.
Well, he had a role in the third goal as well, didn't he? So he had cut in for the left.
He got deflected back.
Aye, and then squared it for Henderson.
Aye, but it wasn't him that was scoring it. Kind of was like a hit of the defender, eh?
Did there no come back to him and then he rolled it across?
I think we're screaming
to watch it again.
I think we're screaming out for, and how many games to go before the World Cup? I think it's 3, isn't it?
Aye, something like that, Jimmy.
And we get Nisbet and we get maybe McGinnis back, fully fit. I think we're our team. By the way, I really do think we're our team.
This is back in the roller coaster, Matthew.
I
spoke about 3 wins in a row. We're going to win the league. Now, 3 wins.
No.
We're
We're
going
not
to
going to win the league, but hopefully third.
Well, we're looking no bad for third. I mean, that's where we're sitting now. And
Aye.
I think
and these spaces and that were bouncing. And then you lose 3, and it's like a shite of you need to revamp the squad to win a game again. But they were above us in the league though before the day. And that's the thing. I think that's maybe been like. I was saying that on the way down. I'm saying they're above us in the league, and it's St Mirren, and folk kind of that's St Mirren, but they were third, fourth today, weren't they, before the game? So
I think so. I think they were above us, and I tell you what, they never looked at any point in the game that they were a better team than us. I don't think.
They never looked like they were trying to come here and get anything other than a 0-0 or sneak one by one of their the 2 breakaways in the first half that Marshall made the saves.
Aye.
Good saves.
That was why that's all they came for though. I think they weren't interested in trying to attack to win the game today. They were just hoping that they'll get lucky, I suppose. Keep it tight. They'll start moaning. They'll get a late goal or whatever.
Colin, do you think St Johnstone were the same last week, pal?
Aye, I do.
Aye.
I mean, they only had 2 goals maybe on 2 shots and 2 goals, eh? You're probably right, aye. Because we were good for 60, 70 minutes last week, before the goals. So. I think that's what we've got to face.
We've got to finish the teams off, and that's what we've done today. We've got the second goal, game's over. Last week, we didn't get the second goal, we got a player sent off, and, you know, what happened last week was, well, we lost 3 points.
Yeah.
You know, that's spot on, Jimmy. That's the difference between that last week and this week was getting that second goal.
Yes.
Fine margins, eh?
That's right.
Fine margins.
Because what we need to realise, it's not about the bigger boys. It's about us in third. Like Hearts done last year, we done the year before. We need to get third. We're going to lose points. Every team's going to lose points under the big 2.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to get a wee momentum going now. Certainly for the next 2 games or 3 games before the World Cup. But we've seen it all before, eh?
I can't remember. It's like every season, eh? Every
exactly.
Season. But I'm just going to get a couple of the tweets and see what's coming here, if I can open them up. Right, what we've got. Leo Fox says, maybe our most complete performance of the season, one of Newell's best games for us. Thought Hendo was quite frustrating, but was delighted he got his goal.
Aye.
A good day all in, except for Ball's injury, of course. This VAR is really killing any kind of proper celebration.
Yes.
I tell you that I can't call him. We were joking about the celebration thing. So I did celebrate Kukrevic's goal, but there is that sort of wee shift in atmosphere around the stadium. Is everybody kind of waited just to say, like, is it? Are we all right here? Is it fine?
Aye, I've done the same.
Aye. Do you think we'll get used to it?
Celebrating it in the first place.
Aye.
Which is what folk tell me they've got to do.
Aye. No, I didn't stop to celebrate at the time, but there was that wee sort of post-celebration moment where you're like, right. And then do you get a second celebration then once it's confirmed?
I didn't did you?
But let's, Matty, can I say, have you looked at Don Robertson? He's gave the goal,
mm-hmm.
and then he's got the wee bit.
Well, they said they're going to check every goal, isn't it? It's like every goal, and they're meant to check the penalty box incidents as well. And I thought it was quite interesting. So we had, by the way, we're going to just end up talking about VAR again, right? First half, Boyle had a penalty shout, right? I didn't care if it was a penalty or no. I thought the boy caught him, and
That's soft as fuck. Mate, it was right where
Was that Colin? Because Colin, you sit that end of the stadium, don't you?
I sat at the penalty spot,
Aye.
looking right on at the penalty spot.
Are they not meant to check it though? Because it's like a penalty incident. They're not meant to go and.
But I didn't think you stop the game to check it because every club would moan if they did, eh? Because
No, but no, the referee gets a wee whistle in his ear, doesn't he?
Aye, the referee must be. My assumption is the VAR boy's in his ear going, I've checked it, it's fine.
So, Colin, can I ask you, sorry for butting in, Matty, but
no, you're right.
Where you are, Colin, you're looking right along the line for the pass to Cooper for the goal.
Aye.
Was he offside, aye?
I've not seen it back, but I've not. I didn't notice it at the time.
Really?
Aye, I didn't notice it, but I was paying full attention. I was just.
Well, you better start making attention.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jimmy. Fucking hell.
Jesus Christ! Because seemingly Mikey Stewart is saying he's no offside.
Aye, he's Mikey Stewart's taking it for the final pass, but it was Newell's pass to Cabrera that was the one where the issue was. And his run, if you watch it, there's a really good angle in sports, and you see right away, you go, they've stepped out and he's stepped forward, and he's off by a wee bit.
But even with the run, Matty.
Even with the run.
You're not convinced, Jimmy, eh? You're not convinced.
Well, I've not seen it. I've not seen it, but I'm Colin sits at that end. So I've asked Colin, and he goes, "Oh, I wasn't paying." You start paying attention, Colin.
And take a flag with Colin as well, so you can put up on the weekend.
My brother-in-law wasn't at the game the day, and he had
sorry, Colin, come on.
And I was texting him some shite probably at the time, and I looked up and I seen the ball for Chibraya, and I hadn't really. I heard everybody. I think I looked up because everybody was going, "Oh, what a pass!" Yeah, so I've not even pass it.
It's fantastic.
How many folk now miss incidents at the football because of that very reason?
Ken, I normally put my phone. I try and put my phone in my pocket, but you'll have seen with the group chat activity the day I had my phone out because he's at a wedding, didn't make it to the game, so I'm fucking on my phone all the time. So I missed it. The day was I probably paid the least attention to a game all season. So.
LG and Cow tweeted, said, for a disallowed goal, are they not meant to say that they're checking the goal? At the time, I assumed the St Mirren player kicking it back to the keeper was kicking off to restart. Well, I think because they check every goal, that's what we just assumed, but I think it should come up on the... Should it just come up and say VAR check and then VAR goal, or whatever, check complete? I'm not sure. But this is the thing I was saying about the penalty one, or the Boyle incident, whether or not it was a penalty call and whether they check it. I'm sure they meant to kind of stop the play while the check's complete, or do you think they just did it in the background? The mark pulled wrong there.
But play carried on there. I think they would see if it went for a by kick or something, or a corner. I think they would stop there and wait on the check. But because play's carried on, I don't think they would stop play because then St Mirren would be fucking moaning, saying you stopped us running up the pitch with the ball.
And
then the fans would moan and say, "Oh, you're breaking up the play. That's fucking VAR slowing the game down."
Right? You know what I mean? Did that not happen with St Mirren last week against? I think it was who they were playing last week, Motherwell, whatever it would be. The laddie touched, allegedly, put his fingers in his face, and they scored a goal, and they went right back and went, "No, no goal."
But that was not like the Boyle one, Jimmy, because that was a goal. So they're checking there for a goal. Was there any foul play in the build-up?
Right.
And it wasn't like. I mean, it shouldn't have been disallowed.
No.
But the Boyle one was. It was just he kind of either bumped into the boy or fell down, and the referee didn't think it was a penalty. You didn't stop the play there to say, was it a penalty? You just carry on.
I understand that.
Because imagine we would be fucking nuts at that, you know?
Absolutely.
Aye, that makes sense. So Christopher's on, patron saint of podcasts. Chris, how's it going?
Yeah, good guys. It was a really good night last night, boys. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you very much.
It was good to have that, and I think we said last night at the end of it we just needed a win today to make the weekend. And I had a really good time today as well. I think it was just a good, fun game to be at. We've not had a lot of them for a while.
What stood out today for you for the game?
I think we're just the constant attacking. I think we pinned them back pretty much from the get-go. I didn't really feel that nervous about it. It was just constant attack. It's just such a difference from what we were seeing last season.
You find that a lot, Colin, eh? Like we spoke about that sort of difference we having the Maloney ball where we were maybe getting 1 or 2 shots on target in a game to what we're seeing now.
It was just that consistent ball back to Porteous all the time. It just kept going back and back and back, and it just seems to be we're trying to pick out passes through the middle and then out wide. It's just going all over the place. So it's nice to watch.
Yeah, so it's a massive improvement. Even though maybe I don't know what the point situation is like compared to this time last season, but just watching it. And this time last season, Jack Ross would have still been here. Actually, wouldn't he? It wouldn't have even been Maloney.
Aye.
The actual even that, you know, I defended Jack Ross. The style of football thing I thought was kind of blown out of proportion a bit, but I'd still rather watch this over Jack Ross's.
A lot of his points were picked up by Boyle. I mean, if Boyle played last season and played well, then we won the games. But I didn't think Boyle was, other than taking the penalty, obviously, I don't think he was wonderful today, and I don't think he has been. I think it's a whole team effort at the moment now.
I still hope he doesn't miss the World Cup. Like, I hope he's not as bad as it might have been.
Because as soon as he went down, Rachel left her seat and went straight down. She looked a bit concerned. So, and from the look in his face, he looked gutted.
It's not a bad one. That's quite worrying. Big Kukarevic, what he's making him so far, guys?
Better than I thought he was going to be. He's got a touch. He's not just a big target man that we fire balls up to. He's actually able to take the ball for the height of him. He's able to take it down and play.
Mm-hmm. He's, I think Lee Johnson said after the game, he said if you take the goals that have been harshly disallowed, he maybe could have had 4 or 5 in his last few games. And he looks a right handful, I think.
I think he's a real find. I mean, he's only 19, isn't he?
Aye, that's mental.
Is that all he is?
19
now.
He's bloody good.
I think we need to do something to try and tie him down, because it's just a loan we've got him on, is it not?
Aye. It's actually quite so on the point of loans, I know Tam McManus had gone on the Daily Record, and it was the Daily Record, I think. This way he writes with to say that we've got too many loans and stuff like that, and Lee Johnson sort of came out a wee bit defensive about that situation. So it'd be interesting to kind of get your thoughts on the loan deals. Kukarevic was pretty much positioned as a player that would be too good for us to be able to sign if we did to go and get him on loan, and that was why there's value in doing it. Do you think that's the right way to go about it? If you get a player that you can't afford and they're going to improve your team, do you do it, or do you get somebody you can sign permanently and develop for your own team?
I think it depends.
I didn't realise he was on loan.
Aye.
Is he?
But I think we've got Nisbet out, so when you bring in another player like that, that's why you bring in a player on loan in that situation.
That's what we've done. Correct. That's exactly what I was going to say. Totally agree. That's why he's done that. A player. Why you would get somebody? You're only going to get somebody on loan. I think that, as you say, or as they've said, somebody we can't afford normally. Whereas because we've got Nisbet coming back at Christmas, and then the two of them will be able to, and Nisbet will gradually take over for him, sort of thing, over the by the end of the season, and then next year. Whereas we wouldn't have. Why would we go and sign somebody a lesser ability when we only need them for a few months? I think it's the best. I think it's the right way to do it. How many other loans have we got?
Ewan's on a loan as well, isn't he? But
so
these are options to buy.
Ewan and Bojang are both loans with an option to buy. Fish at centre half and Schofield, the goalkeeper. Again, Fish and Schofield were both brought in as cover as well.
Yeah.
Was he specifically talking about Hibs when he was talking about loan deals then?
Aye, he was. He was saying it was Hibs. So that was the chat around it.
He's been spouting a load of fish recently, to be honest. I don't know what he's got in him. He's just headlines and stuff, but it's a load of rubbish. He's talks like he's in the know, but doesn't really have a fucking clue.
Do you know that
Tam McManus is a knob?
Is that you, Ron? Andy, is that you?
That was me.
How you doing, mate? What do you think of the game today? How you bring you in?
I think Hibs were really entertaining. I thought the Newell was outstanding. I could not fault the guy, and his pass today was Scott Allen-esque. They were just great. It was just great, and it's a good feeling, back at Easter Road with the crowd getting behind them. I was listening to Clyde as well, listening to all the other scores. They were going on about how Goodwin was, got Aberdeen, firing again and changed his mentality, and and then they went on to Lee Johnson and they were going on about his, it's been an iffy start and blah blah. It's all a bit meh at Easter Road, and as you said about Tam McManus on PLZ as well, he is just since Hibs got rid of him off the commentary, he's done nothing but had the daggers out for the Hibs, and it's proven to be. He's just a third B prick. But anyway, I really thoroughly enjoyed the day, and I'm not going to let Tam McManus annoy me anymore. But I just thought that ball through to Cabrera was excellent. It was showed real class, and he's a baller, Neil. And I think his contract's coming up, is it not?
The extension.
Aye.
Did he? 3-year extension.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, brilliant!
I
I
think
didn't
it's
realise
2025.
that.
I think it was 2022 or wherever he signed around the same time as Deutsch, and all of them all signed their contracts.
Oh, so did you know sign a new contract just as he got the fine for his
Driving.
Driving.
That's right.
So
Well, that might be a. That might
Was it
be
about this time last year?
Aye.
I'm sure it was.
That was that night. Was that no? Because was on court the day when we played Celtic in the Fishing Rain that night?
Aye, it was just after they'd been on the podcast, wasn't it?
Aye, that's
And
right.
we were all saying, how good he was and everything, and then that came out in the news pretty much the next day or a couple of days later.
Did you have a good drink on the podcast that night and let him drive? Did you?
We wouldn't have kenny about it then. The story hadn't come out.
Right.
How was your head this morning, Andy? Were you all right?
A bit fuzzy, mate. A bit fuzzy.
You enjoyed it
But
last night?
Thanks for the lift home. I was brilliant last night. I had a real good laugh. Big Raymond, I got a big cuddle of Big Raymond and a massage as well, which was bizarre. But anyway, it was good meeting some of the boys. And it was also a real fun night. So we thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks for that.
No bother. It was good for us as well. Like you say, it was nice putting faces to names and actually meeting people in person. It's good when you sort of can online personas and that, but when you actually get to shake somebody's hand and speak to them, it's a nice wee thing.
Still never seen Kaiser Soze yet, though. Has anybody ever seen him?
I was sitting in front of him, at the Livingston game earlier in the season through Almondvale at the Tony Macaroni. He's a good guy as well, Kaiser. He's due to be back on these soon. He's really good value there.
He's quite a character. loves the Rangers, Anyway, I'll stop it.
Right, Dave, I was just going to get through another couple of the tweets. So Matt says Kaharovic is 21, not 19. Fair dues. Ian says, wonder if the next step for VAR is AI. The suggestion here in someone's been developed is AI point scoring to make it more objective. I wonder if it was all done by a computer, if folk would still moan that the computer was biased. I was there, Colin, that would happen.
The thing is, you can't. How could you program it? Because the rules are open to interpretation.
Aye.
So how do you play? How do you do maybe?
Well, that's the whole thing with AI, though, isn't it? They're meant to be programmed to like make decisions like humans would now. So to be able to interpret stuff that's subjective.
Yes, son.
So,
sorry, can I go back to the Kubraya? What was the big centre forward?
Oh, the centre forward.
Kaharovic.
Kibber. Is there a so you know how loan deals are? There's always you can buy at the end of his loan deal. Do you know if there is a fee on his head?
We've
No, that
not
one.
got that option on his one. So I think
Right.
this is what Lee Johnson was talking about when
Right.
in his response to Cam McManus. He's pretty much saying that he's got this relationship with the City Group, and the City Group. So who's all in that? It's Man City, obviously, and then
Right.
I can't mind the other clubs that are involved
Celtic
in it.
are in with it, you know.
No, it's like New York. Is it not New York or something?
Melbourne City as well.
And whoever we've got Kaharovic from is a team that's in the City Group. So obviously they spend a lot of money developing players and identifying the top players. So they're probably a good group to be in the good books with. And I think that's what Johnson was saying, is if we do a good job with this loan, then it puts us in a good position to kind of get another one with another player that's well above our level. But no, we've no got the option to buy him. Like if he does well, I think he's destined for.
They'll punt him out to a bigger
things. Aye,
it's like when Brandon Barker was on loan, mind, and he done well, and they moved him on to the Championship. They've got like their stepping stones to try and go through for them, eh?
Aye.
Same with Harry Clark.
Yeah, Harry Clark's a good
Right.
example of somebody doing that.
Okay.
It's Troy. He's on loan from. That was LG and Kill just tweeted to let us know. Thank you for that. So, it would be nice if we had the option to buy. I think we would definitely be taking it up.
And it is a year though, but isn't it?
Aye, we'd have him for the season. Aye.
I think he's got to be up there, like.
Oh, aye. He looks like he's got a bit of everything about him.
Aye.
I think he's got, I'm not going to sound negative here, because I try not to, but he's sometimes got a bit of heavy first touch. Like the ball come in and it bounces off him. Not every time, but fairly regular. A few times in a game, I think it kind of bounces off him. But that's something. He's only a young laddie, I suppose. Still, he can. The more times it happens, the more times we've got to bring it, improve that. And that's why he's here, I suppose.
That's right. Yeah.
Go and learn that.
Aye. The boy fished it bad when he came on. Oh, it was a quality finish, Chris. Aye.
Aye.
It's funny, you look at Henderson's chance in the first half when Boyle had played him through, and he sort of cut it onto his his right foot and then tried to kind of lift it into the far corner. It didn't quite get it right, and then Kaharovic just did it. Like that, he did get it right with his finish.
Can I just ask, does anybody think that Henderson's a wee bit lightweight?
Aye. Big time.
I think so now. What I hope happens though is what we've seen with a lot of the other players. It looks like there's a wee bit of a gym culture at Hibs now. And you look at Newell, McGuinness, Nisbet, Melkerson as well. Campbell. They're all looking bigger. So you think Henderson is going to, over the next year and a bit, will fill out as well. He's definitely technically good enough, I think.
I was going to say, right, so I was moaning about it at the game, but I think he's couple of 3 finishes that weren't very good, and then one he rattled in the top corner. The 3 finishes were frustrating, and the crowd kind of got on his back. But other than that, he actually played some nice wee passes in that.
He did.
He played a couple of nice through balls and stuff like that. And they poor finishes, because they were poor, kind of overshadowed that. And it's like he's snatching at them. I'm hoping that one's got the monkey off his back a wee bit with the goal he scored just before he got subbed. But the first couple, the one that was in the sort of the top tier of the famous 5, and then you had the one you mentioned there where it was nearly caught up in the West, when he was trying to bend it into past the keeper. And I'm sure there was another one where he's thinking about it too much. He's not just hitting it like he did for the goal. If we could. Other than that, I thought he was all right. I thought he played some decent passes.
Well, you look at
I just think he gets a wee bit in challenges and maybe running past a player. He gets
knocked off
and bullied a bit. But I mean, his touch is he's got skill, and you can see he's got football about him. I think he just needs to put a wee bit more muscle on, or a wee bit more aggression in his game, and I reckon he'd be up there as well.
Do you think that dropping Campbell for Henderson was a great move?
Well, you'd have to say, from my point of view, Henderson's been involved with the assist for the second goal, and then he scored the third.
Aye.
And he should have scored in the first half as well, and it almost won us, or maybe could have won us a penalty if the ref had gone and checked the one where the boy pulled him down. So he's definitely impacted the game. It's hard to make an argument to say that he wasn't kind of quite a key player in the game, but at the same time,
Johnson also said that what he'd seen in training. He said that he was hoping that he would bring that from what. So he's obviously seen something in training and given him a chance.
Because if you looked at last week with Campbell, he was probably playing right back and right. He was just all over the place, the laddie, where the manager was obviously told him where to play. Whereas we really still don't have that. I know McGuinness was suspended today, but we just didn't have a midfielder. The three so forget Kenna, and the three midfielders, we just knew it was brilliant, and the other two we didn't go forward, sir.
Aye, you mean last season, Jimmy? Aye.
You know, we just do not. The midfield doesn't go forward, and that's a frustrating thing for me. Like,
aye. I'm just going to bring Pete in. Pete, how's it going, mate?
Aye, no bad, mate.
Feeling a lot better this morning?
I was good. That was arriving last night. Was on the back of having been out since lunchtime. So
I
hope I wasn't too embarrassing.
Not at all. You wouldn't have been able to tell.
I was going to say about Henderson. I thought he does have a tendency to drop. You know, he's maybe not got the confidence to push on. So hopefully today, because I think he's one of the ones that kind of drops in where McGuinness and I suppose Campbell this year are quite happy pushing forward. I don't think he lacks a bit of confidence going forward. So hopefully today, maybe that'll lift his confidence a bit.
What do you make of him as a player overall, Pete?
I must say I was a wee bit disappointed. I think he came with there was a lot of talk about him, and you never really saw it last year. But he has got a good touch, and he's very slight. Though I think somebody just said that. There's no lot to him. I was actually you mentioned Fish. I thought he looked competent enough, but one of the podcasts had said that the difference with someone like Fish, if you compare him to, say McClellan or some of the young centre-halves that we've got coming through, is the size of him. He's absolutely huge. He's built like Porto, or maybe not quite as big as Rocky, but he looks like the finished article in terms of centre-half. But I think he's another one that's just a pure loan, isn't it? We don't have any options with him.
I think he just came in as cover because Rocky had got injured and we weren't sure what was going to happen with Porteous. So, but I think he's looked decent. A few times he's come, he's not really had that much to do. Like, he didn't have much to do the day. I was quite disappointed with St Mirren, to be fair. I think if anybody else was expecting to be a bit more for St Mirren.
I was. I 100% agree with that. I thought they were supposed to have been playing really well, and they were obviously above us in the league.
I think at home.
Aye, maybe it's away from home. They're not the same side, but I thought I was surprised. I thought they would have expected to come here and get a result, whereas they were just hoping for one.
Was that not a positive for us, though? I just thought we just really took the game to them. They just really pressed them. Didn't give them any space.
Chris, I don't care about St Mirren. Like, I'm just saying, I thought that they would have been better.
No, but I think they are a good team. I do think they're a good team. I just think we just pressed them really right from the off, and it worked this day. Sometimes we end up losing a sticky goal.
I'm not going to have any intention to do anything other than
they could have been in front of us before Hibs scored. Two good saves to Marshall, by the way.
Aye, they were good saves, but again, I think they were quite good saves, but saves you'd expect them to make.
Well, I think one of them was...
I think the first one I think was maybe better than that. The second one, I agree, probably you would expect them to make. I think the first one he made quite low down, but it isn't at my end. But where I was sitting, it looked a decent save, like, because it looked like he just touched it in the air and just tipped it away. Whereas the second one, you would expect him to save it. Because bear in mind, it was funny because I was sitting watching it, because I think last week I had said, I don't know if I said it out loud or if I said it in the group chat, but what's his saves to shot ratio? Because we always see that, when we didn't like a goalie, we fucking fire all the stats out to prove that he's not that good. And we do like Marshall, and I've not seen these stats, but we have still conceded goals, and we've not seen saves for Marshall an awful lot, but we've seen them today. We have. I mean, he is quality, and I'm not talking him down, but it was just a silly point I was making about how we as a fan base try and use stats to tell us one of your own players is shite.
Colin, sorry about it. Colin and Matt, you're our end, obviously. And I watched Marshall the whole game, and certainly the first half, our end, he shouts and shouts and shouts, and his contribution, his throw-ins, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably why they gave him the captaincy, eh?
He speaks all the time, Colin.
Oh, there's no doubt. I hear it in mind.
Aye, he's brilliant.
He was it his passes to Boyle away to
brilliant. That was superb.
Ken, you've got a goalkeeper starting attacks like that, because that really should have been a goal.
Aye.
But
his passes like a midfielder's, eh?
Yeah.
Aye.
Like you wouldn't if that was coming up. Say that was Porto or Rocky or even Newell knocking a ball over to Boyle, you wouldn't be unhappy with the result.
Absolutely.
Looked like the ball boys had been speaking to the Celtic ball boys as well, obviously for tips today.
Asking how they've done it.
I wouldn't be surprised though, because Johnson was bumming that up, like he was raving about that.
Colin?
So I wouldn't be surprised because it's the academy laddies that do it, eh? So like they'll understand the game. Okay, well, I mean, it's not like randoms off the street. It's laddies in the 14s or 16s or something, isn't it, that do it? So you could give them an instruction like that, slow it down when we're leading, and fucking speed it up when we're not and all that. And they'll get it.
Mm-hmm. What did you make of Porteous's reaction? Sorry if you've covered it already, because I was a wee bit late joining. His reaction to being booked.
Fucking outrageous.
He went mental.
Did he? I never saw
it. It wasn't a booking. He's obviously annoyed because it's clearly been that, it's Porteous, therefore. Well, it didn't look a booking to me. I had the grandkids with me right enough, so it's hard to concentrate that much. But he went absolutely mad. I actually thought he was close to getting another booking for dissent. He was going that crazy about it.
Didn't notice that. I did see Rocky celebrating a tackle he made like he scored a goal. Did you see that?
He went mental, didn't he?
Can I just button here? See when you're talking about Porteous there, right? See the big St Mirren laddie in the box when he fucking wiped out. I can't remember if he was a wiped out. By the way, if that had been Porteous, he was off.
Was that Main? Was that the Main?
Was it Main? Was it?
I'm not sure.
It was your end, and he fucking wiped the laddie out.
Some Dave put it in the group chat, Matthew. That's a red card. He was watching the telly.
What?
So I thought Dave was only saying that because it was Hanlon. Dave's on here. I thought he was only saying it because it was Hanlon, and you ken Dave's warm affection for Paul Hanlon. So
fanboy.
He done him, Matty. He done him, and he got a booking. If it had been Porteous, he was off.
Aye, well, I mean, you can't Porteous gets refereed different to other players.
Exactly.
We see this.
Because Rocky was getting stuck in today as well. There was one where somebody went like head to head with him, and they ended up having a big cuddle at the end. I think the guy just shot it.
So I said that was. So there was one over at the East Stand side where. Is that the one?
Yeah,
that's a booking on the boy. Like, because it went. This is where I get frustrated. You look at McGuinness's second booking last week, and you look at what that boy did to Rocky. There's no difference, but one of the referees just gave him a wee talking to. He could have booked him. It's like it was Colin last week, wasn't it? Could have booked him, and nobody would have complained about the booking, or he could have done what he did last today and just had a word for him. Could easily have taken that approach from McGuinness last week. Right, we've only got a couple of minutes, so I'm just going to go through some more of the tweets before we wrap up and see if there's anything here. Right, so with Ian with the AI, Caelan Calder Collins says that they got 3 bookings and we got 2. LG and Cow says fair play to you and Henderson today. A lot around me calling for him to come off after his first half performance, then he gets a goal and assist in the second. William McCowan says radio was fucking shocking. 45 minutes plus about Rangers. It's getting worse now.
Terrible. Shocking.
Aye. What
was that one, Mike?
About the radio, just talking about post-show. It was like
it was Aberdeen as well, of course. So and it's Geo with that. You know what I mean? Like they're all based next to and that as well.
This afternoon,
pretty poor, like.
Rocky was outstanding. Ron Burgundy, here we go, Andy. It's you. It's all about us. Jimmy's right. Jimmy, we've got that in black and white down here. Jimmy's right. If you ever want to refer back to that, we can bookmark the tweet for you.
That's the Christopher boys stick together, Jimmy.
Hi, come on. Clary, by the way, no Christopher. I'm no posh.
I was brought up in Clary, so I was up in Clemerson Park.
Oh, we'll meet for a pint in the Clary and son.
You wouldn't catch me in there fucking in my life.
You're joking.
Anyway,
McCurdy said Newell's far better, more upfield, and could easily have been 3-1 with the last corner free header for the St Mirren boy. I think it was Fish's man. William McCohen said Big Rocky and Kenner were fast today. I think that's as wasted them. No disagreements there. We've got just very quickly, Rabs jumping on to speak. Just before we wrap up, Rab, I think you're going to have more or less the last word on things, Rab.
No bad, guys. I just wanted to quickly jump on and say cheers for last night. I had a fucking braw time, but I've been suffering for it today. Like, I missed the first half. I was like sleeping on the couch, man. But nah, it was really good to meet you guys and some other faces and stuff like that as well. Great crack.
Is it a cracking night?
Looking forward to next year's.
Enjoyed it. Aye. I think kind of Hibs will let us back in.
Thanks very much, mate. I don't know where my is, but it was nice to meet you. I know it was good. It was good to meet everybody. That was probably the best part for me of the night, rather than sitting on that fucking stage with a microphone in my hand.
Aye.
So. Thanks for coming.
Is that Rab with the fabulous?
It sure is, mate.
Yes. One question. We snuck along to the press box where they do all the kind of signings and stuff, and behind it was just a whole bunch of crayons.
They won the mine.
That's for McGeady to sign his next contract.
Yeah. We're looking for the 4-coloured pen, but we couldn't find it.
That's quality. He's got to sneak along. So a couple of folks engraving it as well.
So it's he's totally he's still on the line, I think, but he's not here. But Rob, did you see any of the game then?
Second half.
What do you make it? Probably a bit dull by then, eh?
Aye, bits that were brilliant, like Rocky just fucking owning cunts. Like, that was great to watch. I was getting really frustrated with Christ. Who was it that scored the second goal?
Today?
Aye.
Kukovic.
Oh, no, the third goal, sorry. Henderson.
Henderson.
I was getting really frustrated with, like, just before he sort of scored, like, there was that one he kind of just fucking rocketed in the kind of stands. It was like, God, stop trying to welly it all the time. But I was happy he got his goal, and hopefully, like you say, it'll settle the nerves a bit.
Hopefully that'll turn it around from a wee bit. Because as I was saying, I don't know if you were joined, but I think he made a few good passes and that as well, but it was kind of overshadowed by a couple of poor finishes as well. So hopefully that's turned it for him a bit.
I hope it's turned the corner for the team. Do you like that getting
anyway?
goals?
Over time, maybe that's why he's jumped off. But we'll be recording Longbangers tomorrow night probably. I'm at the women's game tomorrow actually, so once I get back for that, it's a late kick-off, 4 o'clock I think. So I'm going to the women's game. Playing Partick Thistle. I don't know if everybody else is going to make it along, but it's at Meadowbank, 4 p.m. kick-off. We'll record Longbangers at night, so we will put a tweet out asking for your talking points. So please, you can send them in now if you like, but I'll wait on the tweet, and we'll cover all that. So speak to you all next week on Tuesday when we do this all again.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Better work this. I'll be back on.
Thanks, John.
Cheerio, guys.
Right.
Cheers, lads. Thank you. Goodbye.
County line, I pledged upon. Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee. I don't drink what I know.